Welcome to our weekly meditation. Feels a little cooler as we go through September, doesn't it? And gosh, only a week till the equinox. So it really feels like a turning of the seasons. And I did say we'd look at something about power today, but I think just taking a step back from that and revisiting some ideas around to listen and listening. I was struck by Psalm this morning, or from yesterday, Psalm 78. Give ear, O my people, to my instruction. Listen to the words of my mouth. And something we did last year, Rabbi Ward-Lev says, the living presence also speaks within our lives, wordlessly calling us out into life, encouraging us to grow beyond our current limitations. This presence breathes into us desires and visions of whom we might become. So there's something there about our spiritual formation, I think. And Rabbi Ward-Lev goes on, listening to the often wordless speech of this presence, allowing the transcendent to touch us, to inspire us, to beckon us across boundaries, to take the next step in our lives. And then a phrase from a 5th century bishop, Diadochus of Photiki, let us keep our eyes always fixed on the depth of our heart, with an unceasing mindfulness of God. So something there too, I think, about moving from head to heart. Keep our eyes always fixed on the depth of our heart. So in our weekly practice here, we move ourselves away from the thinking part to the feeling part. And here we use our breath, taking our customary 2 deep breaths in through the nose and back out through the mouth. Settling ourselves into our comfortable posture, whether that's with our hands in our lap or on our thighs and our knees, feeling our feet connected to the ground, just adjusting, trying to be upright if we can, closing our eyes or using the image on the screen. And let's take another 2 deep breaths through the nose and out through the mouth. Really using that breath to center and focus ourselves on the present time, the present place. And as part of that practice of moving our focus away from the thinking mind and locating ourselves in the body, I invite you just to go through some movements associated with a body prayer attributed to Julian of Norwich, of whom this is an image on the screen. And there are 4 parts to this, all beginning with A, and I just invite you to follow my guidance here. So we begin with await. in which we lift our forearms and we just hold our hands at the waist. So just sat with our hands just above our legs, open and awaiting God's presence, however it may come to you. And then allow. And here, if you're able to, reach up with your hands straight up above your head with the hands open, and allowing a sense of God's presence to come or not to come, as the case may be, and to be what it is. I think of this posture almost as an open vessel. I can always imagine it allowing spirit or air or energy to flow into us. So this is allow. Your arms are probably getting a bit heavy, so let's move to accept. And we place both hands over the heart, cupped towards the body. Accept as a gift whatever comes or does not come. Accept that we don't know everything, that you are not in charge. Acceptance of what is. And then finally, fourthly, attend. And here we just stretch our hands out in front, palms up, ready to be responsive. Attend to what you are called to, willing to be present and be God's love in the world, however you are called. And then in your own time, just return your hands to the comfortable place for your meditation. So that's await, allow, accept, and attend. Just with those simple movements of the hands and arms, something about embodying that intention within the body. Helping us with, as Diadochus says, to keep our eyes always fixed on the depth of our heart with an unceasing mindfulness of God. And we may be listening indeed to our inner lives, to the thoughts, images and emotions that arise within us. Being able to listen and notice those is an important part of our spiritual formation. important to locate ourselves in the present moment rather than past or future. C.S. Lewis talks of the moment when time touches eternity. This is when God connection happens. If we're locating ourselves in the past or the future, it's more difficult for that God connection to happen. So as we sit here, still and quiet, just notice and be aware, paying attention to any sensations in the body. Adopting an attitude of curiosity, being aware of any feelings or sensations, emotions, noticing if there's a tenseness or if it's calm. Whatever's happening inside, feelings or emotions, simply notice and accept. And whilst this time of meditation might be a little bit unusual because of our preparation, this is something we can do throughout the day, just to stop and notice how I'm feeling. Are there feelings of anxiety, frustration, irritation? Just being aware of them without trying to change them or make them any different. Just noticing their presence. Let us keep our eyes always fixed on the depth of our heart with an unceasing mindfulness of God. It might be that it's through nature and in nature that the wonder really strikes us. That's where we are particularly mindful of God. Helping us to move beyond the ego, embracing and accepting whatever's there. And so, too, with noticing the mind. Quite natural for the mind to wander off, thinking about this, worrying about that. Again, in our meditation or our mindfulness practice, we pause just to notice, has the mind drifted off somewhere? And if so, in noticing, you're able just to gently bring it back and locate it and let those thoughts settle. being our own observer. And this is where bringing the attention back to the breath can be helpful. Attaching perhaps an image to the breath, ripples of waves up and down the beach. And finally, on our thoughts, how to discern the presence of the divine. Richard Rohr assures us that if we have thoughts which are harsh or shaming or diminishing ourselves, it's not likely the voice of God. This is simply the ego voice. Whereas if something comes towards us with grace and can pass through us and toward others with grace, that we can trust as the voice of God. Another mystic says, we must listen to what is supporting us. We must listen to what is encouraging us. We must listen to what is alive in us. The deeper voice of God, which we must learn to hear, will sound like the voice of trust, of surrender, of soul, of destiny, of love, of our deepest self. And so we'll move to a longer period of silence in which to practice that listening, practice that awareness, practice that eyes fixed on the depth of our heart with an unceasing mindfulness of God, with music from Salt of the Sound again. Listen, hear that sound. Never wonder how he found you. When all around closes in, he's listening. So we come gently out of our silence. Gently returning ourselves to this place. And we'll close with those words from Salt of the Sound as a prayer. Listen, hear that sound. Never wonder how he found you. When all around closes in, he's listening. Let him hold you when you fall. All you've known is fading fast. He's listening.